inaction or bad decision of Mr. Nixon and the Republican Party in Miami last week. Certainly the Democrats are almost in a secured position. I can say that Mr. Humphrey can pick Carl Stokes, of mayor of Cleveland, and he could win. He could also pick Sanders of Georgia. He could win. He could just almost have his pick now, his choice. He can close his eyes now and pick him a running mate. But I'm saying this, that we can bring the type of pressure that will still cause the Democratic convention to not only turn out something necessary, or something that will deal with the cause of the ills of this country through its platform, but also through the nomination of its candidates.
If that convention does not pick a candidate who represents the kinds of hopes that the people voted for in the primaries, as I'm suggesting, it will not be merely the substantive policies that will be wrong. It will be the fact that democracy, having labored for a year, having worked itself to a frenzy of money and of effort, having involved more of our people than have ever been involved from all segments of the electorate, produces in the end what is the least acceptable set of alternatives to the vast majority of our people. And if that happens, then of course a sense of disillusion, despair, and of just general alienation from the doctrines that we've been raised with and from the rhetoric that we hear is going to be a very fundamental fact of American life. And the racial exclusion in the Southern delegations and the political exclusion of McCarthy people all over the country are part of the same pattern of selections based on something that is manipulative and not responsive. And if we go to that convention and we fight these things through on the general questions that we've talked about at Chicago and in the convention since then, we're going to win in Chicago because we represent the only hope the Democratic Party has of survival. And politicians understand survival if they don't understand anything else, particularly Democratic politicians. And once the message gets through that you spit in the face of the 80% of the Democratic voters who have been voting primary after primary for a change in leadership and a change in policy, to ignore all of that and to produce a candidate who represents policies that have been discredited and rejected, but that means the Democratic Party itself will no longer be an effective political force.